is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Dell Small Business.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez in New York. There's a water crisis in Jackson, Mississippi this morning.
This is a very different situation from a boil water notice. Until it is fixed, it means we do not have reliable running water.
Governor Tate Reeves putting the word out. Schools will be virtual until further notice. You can't flush the toilet, drink what comes out of the tap, or bathe in it. Heavy rainfall has made problems worse at one of the city's water treatment plants. The swollen Pearl River flooded at least one home yesterday, but water levels have since receded. Lawmakers in South Carolina begin debate today on a total abortion ban, with no exceptions for rape or incest. Micah Caskey is among Republicans who say they can't support the legislation as is.
The bill has a long way to go before it could be something that looks right and ready to be a part of the law in South Carolina. Right now, I think it's a good starting point, but it's not ready.
CBS News has learned a senior Secret Service official who broke with the agency precedent to serve as a political advisor in the Trump administration is retiring. CBS's Nicole Skanga has more.
Tony Ornato, 25-year veteran of the agency, has come under scrutiny following former White House aide Cassidy Hutchinson's testimony before the January 6th Select Committee. But the leader leaves the agency in good standing, with plans to enter into the private sector, according to a U.S. Secret Service spokesperson. His last day was Monday.
Ukrainian forces say they're gaining new ground in their attempt to reclaim Kherson. CBS's Deborah Patta has details from Kyiv.
Emboldened by the steady supply of Western military aid, Ukraine is on the offensive in the south, holding nothing back.
Artillery.
They're hitting us with everything they've got. Tanks, aviation, artillery, shouts this Russian soldier.
The 18-year-old who accuses former Buffalo Bills punter Matt Araiza and two former college teammates of gang raping her is speaking out. She tells CBS News she was brutally abused for at least an hour.
I was having to deal with this horrible, traumatic experience that I never asked for.
Araiza's attorney claims her story dangerous to pregnant women and child development. CBS's Elise Preston.
Nearly all women in the study showed traces of melamine and cyanuric acid, but women of color and those with the greatest exposure to tobacco had the highest levels.
S&P futures are up 32. This is CBS News.
The Dell Technologies Labor Day event is here. Up to 48/7, Ask Dell.
The Labor Day event from Dell Technologies is here. End the summer strong by starting up a new season of productivity. Gen Intel Core processors. It's time to push your growth. Dell. That's 877 Ask Dell.
Under the Hood, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Ford's new electric police pickup truck is gaining traction. Here's auto expert Jeff Gilbert with more.
Ford's police marketing manager Greg Ebel says the electric pickup has drawn the interest of police.
They're interested, very interested, in starting, to pilot, all electric vehicles, start integrating these into their fleet.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
How often do you indulge between the sheets?
Single people are getting a little too comfortable living alone. 38% of millennials say they consider eating in bed to be a big deal breaker. But they're hypocrites because they're also the age group most likely to sneak a midnight snack into bed. 50% saying they prefer something sweet, about 32% go for salty. The study by one poll was for CERTA, which aimed to identify common sleep disruptors. Monica Ricks, CBS News.
iPhone users get ready to be dazzled. A video posted to China's Weibo platform gives an unsanctioned glimpse of Apple's new iPhone 14. It appears to feature a radical redesign with a dual-hole punch instead of a notch around the camera. And it'll apparently be an eye-catcher. The Chinese Post shows the 14 Pro will come in navy, gold, graphite, silver, and a purple that changes color depending on the angle. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
It's true. Difficult times have a way of focusing us. We have to think about what matters most when it comes to our spending, our health care. No doubt. This is why so many people are joining MediShare right now. MediShare is a trusted way to save up to 50% on your monthly health care costs. More than 400,000 people have already made the switch. It's pretty obvious why, too, especially now during this challenging season with healthcare costs and out-of-pocket expenses going up. Medishare can save you a lot of money. The typical family saves $500 a month. And Medishare is a Christian healthcare sharing ministry that's worked beautifully for 27 years. There are different options to choose from to fit your budget. I'll give you the number here in a second, and if you call, you can get a price within 2 minutes. Maybe now is the perfect time to make the switch and start saving. Here you go. Call 866-88-BIBLE. That's 866-88-BIBLE. 866-88.
Get glowing for your wedding day and have picture-perfect skin with the help of the experts at R Plus Med Spa. They prioritize a tailored approach, starting with a complimentary bridal consultation to share any skin concerns you have as you prepare for your big day. This is also perfect for the mother of the bride, the groom, and your bridal party. R Plus Med Spa, 210 Shane Drive in Glasgow. Call 270-651-4SPA and schedule your complimentary bridal consultation today.
Being a small business owner has changed a great deal in recent days. Whatever stage of small business you're in, you need an experienced financial partner to work for you. Derek Staples at U.S. Bank is a small business specialist that you can count on to help you with creative ways to deal with the challenges you may have. U.S. Bank is in a great position to meet those needs. Talk to Derek Staples today at 270-659-3271 and take the next step in managing your business. Member FDIC. Well, good Tuesday morning, everybody. Here we are at 72 degrees and at 7 minutes after 6 o'clock, 30th day of August. We are rolling along. We've had some rain shower activity. We'll talk about that just in a moment, and we'll look at the radar screen just in a moment, too. But how about some rainy Tuesday birthdays to tell you about today? We got some special folks. We have several gongarees today. We're going to be sounding the 80 gong this morning for Marie Ward, and the 80 gong today for Mr. Larry T. Glass coming up, too. We'll be sounding the 70 gong for Kathy Lowe here at the bottom of the hour. We also have birthdays for Katie Wells, Dr. Barrett Lessenberry, Gil Pointer, Susan Simmons, Vicki Lyle, Tammy Clark, if I can say it, Eva Rennick, Collins DeRosset, man, Collins is 3 today. Tammy Thomas is 54. Bob Harvey, Samantha Ray Pettigo. Jimmy Russell is 61. Jacqueline Westmoreland has a birthday. That's from Anna and Chloe this morning. Mark Dixon celebrates. Angela Martin has a birthday today, too. What about that for a great start? 651-9149, 800-956-1023, and online here at WCLUradio.com. Birthdays and anniversaries, so we do enjoy sharing each and every day. Now let's talk a little bit more about the way the weather forecast is shaping up for today here at 9 minutes after 6 o'clock. First of all, we got 72 degrees. In the last 24 hours, we've had 3/10 of an inch of rain, a couple of really gully washers yesterday afternoon, and much lighter rain shower activity this morning. First things first, showers likely today and possibly a thunderstorm, gradually becoming sunny, though, and a high of 85. The rain chance overall is going to be 60%. For tonight, mostly clear, low of 61. For Wednesday, sunshine and 83. Wednesday night, clear and a low of 58. Thursday, sunshine and 85. The barometric pressure is at 30 inches even, 98% humidity. Northwest winds at 5 miles an hour. And we've had 3/10 of an inch of rain in the rain gauge here in the past 24 hours. I'm going to zoom in on the constant coverage and studio radar screen. That shower activity that kind of bumbled through here a little bit earlier this morning looks like is now about out east of Elizabethtown. Looks like you're going to be going and get on the Martha Lane Collins Parkway up there. You're going to run into that along about Bardstown and Point South all the way into Greene County over around Springfield, Kentucky, too. That's kind of where the heaviest rain shower activity is. If you are traveling If you're traveling north in through Elizabethtown, you're going to see a few rain shower activity occurrences just to the north of E-Town as well. That's kind of where we are this morning. But I'm looking back to the west to see what we see in the way of things popping up. And we're going to be kind of taking it easy for a little while, but we did get 0.3 of an inch of rain here in the past 24 hours. 72 degrees, 10 minutes after 6 o'clock. Good morning live.
Sleepers everywhere are demanding breakfast until noon on weekends. Well, hit that snooze button because Hardee's is extending breakfast hours until noon. And now you can celebrate it with the new 2 for $5 breakfast deal. Imagine eating your choice of a sausage and egg biscuit, country fried steak, or biscuit and gravy all before midday on the weekends. The late sleepers have spoken. Bite into the new 2 for $5 breakfast deal only at Hardee's. Feed your happy. Tax not included. Available for limited time at participating Hardee's restaurants. Exclusions may apply by time of day. Price of participation may vary.
WCLU, Boutique Unique, and the Haywood Valley Farm wants to help you grill and chill in style. It's Grillin' and Chillin' with your chance to win a huge prize package valued at over $1,300, including a brand new gas grill, an Arctic hard side cooler, a $100 car and truck tire care kit, a 28-inch Blackstone griddle, $150 in Haywood Valley Farms premium beef, a Fireline knife, and $50 Fireline gift card, and much, much more. Stop by and register to win at any of our Grillin' and Chillin' sponsors in Glasgow, including Boutique Unique and Haywood Valley Farms, 302 Happy Valley Road, Fireline Guns and Knives at 1207 West Main Street, Southern Kentucky Tire Pros, 1004 Happy Valley Road, Barren River Beverages at 1668 Burksville Road. Enter by 12 noon September 1st. Grand prize drawing 2 p.m. September 1st at Boutique Unique in Haywood Valley Farms. Grillin' and chillin' from Fireline Guns and Knives for all of your outdoor needs and the best coffee and candles you can find. Haywood Valley Farms with locally raised superior quality Midwestern finished beef. Taste the difference. And WCLU. See complete contest rules at WCLUradio.com. Click contests.
Well, good morning. It's Tuesday, August 30th, 2022. We're looking at 612 currently and 72 degrees. As you've just heard, showers moved through the area really not so long ago. About an hour ago, they were really coming down. Looks like those are moving on through the area, moving eastward at this point. And looks like chance of showers is lingering around in the forecast, however. And temperatures today going to be quite warm. Yesterday, they were pretty muggy, really. By the afternoon, after that rain that came through about midday, temperatures are really feeling pretty muggy. It's 6:12. In local news this hour, don't forget about that To the Brim food drive. That's beginning here in Glasgow and Barron County. That's going to begin Wednesday. That's tomorrow. And that's going to be running through this Saturday. And Community Medical Care or rather the Community Relief Fund is asking you to fill the pantry to the brim, as they call it. Now, here's how you can help. It's really simple. You do grab some non-perishable food items while you're at Houchins, Southgate store, or Walmart, and you can drop that in the bin by the door. $10 ready-made bags are available there at Southgate Houchins and Happy Valley Road Houchins, we understand. You then hold a food drive at your place of business, church, or school. That's an option as well. And then you can drop off at their office or arrange for a pickup of the donation. Or you can always mail a monetary donation to 317A Columbia Avenue, Glasgow, Kentucky, 42141. So again, this is called To the Brim Food Drive, and that's being put on this week. It begins tomorrow and runs through this Saturday, which is September 3rd. Authorities in Cave City have had their hands full the last several days. They've been dealing with lots of different incidents. The Cave City Police Department sending out several news releases yesterday specifying that they've arrested a few different people over the course of the last few days. They say that they observed a dark blue four-door truck with expired registration plates on Saturday traveling in the parking lot of 5 Star at the location of 800 Happy Valley Road. The truck's headlights or taillights were not illuminated, and upon stopping the truck officer, Jay Neal noticed that the suspect did not have his seatbelt on. We understand that that suspect did not have the registration receipt for his vehicle either. Now, this suspect's name in this news release, they keep referring to this individual as Brown. We don't have a first name specified in this news release. Officers located a white substance along with a yellow ink pen that had been made into a makeshift straw, they say. Officers allege that they tested that white substance with a field test kit and that test showed a purple-yellow color, which indicated heroin, morphine, and oxycodone fentanyl. Brown was placed under arrest and transported to the Barron County Jail. I understand he's charged with no tail lamps, no registration receipt, operating on a suspended or revoked operator's license, failure to wear a seat belt, as well as drug possession charges. And we do want to note that that individual's name is Nicholas Brown. Nicholas Brown was that suspect involved in that incident there. Also, Cave City Police saying that they arrested two other individuals, Kenneth Lilliam, and they also say that they arrested Mr. James York. These were a part of similar arrests as to the other one we just read. Now, we do want to let you know that Cave City Police, as well as Glasgow Police and State Police, they are all going to be a part of the Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign. That's going to be running through the Labor Day weekend, which, of course, is just this weekend. Really hard to believe. By next Monday, we have Labor Day coming up. In other news, looks like gas prices are continuing on the decline. Gas prices are 3 cents lower this week at $3.35 per gallon. That's according to AAA East Central's gas price report. This week's average prices in West Central Kentucky are $3.35. The average price during the week last week, $3.38, and the average price during this time last year was $2.79. Now, we are looking at gas prices, of course, across the region, as we normally do. And Bowling Green's at $3.43, Elizabethtown at $3.19, Louisville at $3.59, Owensboro $3.31, and Paducah at $3.23. Now, as far as the analysis goes, why are these continuing to fall? Well, it looks like even though crude oil prices increased slightly over the past week, those lower domestic demand for gasoline, it's keeping gas prices lower. Today's national average is $1.16 less than the record set in mid-June and 71 cents more than a year ago. And according to new data from the Energy Information Administration, gas demand decreased from 9.35 million barrels per day to 8.43 million barrels per day last week. Bowling Green police say that they were investigating a potential school shooting yesterday, but they determined that that was not even a real threat. They say they responded yesterday to Moss Middle School there in Warren County. They received a 911 call reporting a school shooting. They say when our officers arrived, they did not locate anyone involved in a shooting. Apparently, a juvenile had called to specify there was a shooting and then hung up. After a lengthy investigation, they have charged a juvenile with second-degree terroristic threatening. We don't have any additional information regarding this, but they do put on a Facebook post, quote, "We want to thank the Warren County Public Schools for all their assistance in this investigation." And looking at traffic impacts this week, several of them to know about. The expected traffic impacts include here in Barron County, that ongoing project along Kentucky 90, Burkesville Road. If you've been driving toward the Metcalfe County line, you are noticing quite a bit of construction. Of course, all this time we've been telling you about how this construction along Kentucky 90 would be taking place away from the road. Looks like they've actually been able to reroute some of that traffic onto the new portion of this road. Looks like they're going to be making a bypass around the 88 community. And where are they doing this exactly? Well, it's right there at Kentucky 839, or Nobob Road, and that's extending all the way out to the Metcalfe County line. That project is widening the existing roadway and again featuring that bypass around the 88 community. Also going on in Barron County is the Roseville Road project. That's along Kentucky 249. It's a pavement repair project, and they are resurfacing that as well. They're beginning at the north end of Skaggs Creek Bridge and extending that north to the intersection with US 31E. Crews will begin with pavement repairs and pipe replacements, and that roadway will be resurfaced when the repair portion of the project's finished. We understand that motorists should expect flaggers to be present through that work zone. And finally, maybe you've noticed, maybe you live along Kentucky 1297, or maybe you own property there. We've noticed several bits of property being bought up by the state in the local property transfers. Along Kentucky 1297, a pavement repair and resurfacing project is continuing there along Old Bowling Green Road, and it's beginning north of Beckton Rocky Hill Road, and it's extending all the way north near the intersection with Kentucky 3600. Crews will begin with pavement repairs and pipe replacements. Much like that Roseville Road project, flaggers will be present in that zone. As far as the Louis B. Nunn Cumberland Expressway goes, a project to rehabilitate and resurface that is ongoing. Maybe you've noticed those new ramps, if you will, that have really looked nice as far as the transportation department taking care of that and those contractors. Here in Barron County, that stretch of roadway last week and the week before really had a lot of traffic problems as far as congestion, one lanes, and all of that sort of thing. But it looks like they are wrapping up that work, and they perhaps are moving on down a little bit now. The section from the 28-mile marker to the 36-mile marker, it's complete. But lane closures, they'll be moved to the 20-mile marker to the 28-mile marker now, and they'll begin working on that stretch there. You can find a complete listing of these impacts at our website, WCLUradio.com. 620, 72 degrees. No activity on this morning's 911 report. We'll be right back.
Have you heard about the new online home for the Glasgow EPB? Well, it isn't just a new-looking website. It's a whole new way to manage your Glasgow EPB services. At the all-new GlasgowEPB.com, you can take care of paying your bill online like always, but you can also request or transfer your Glasgow EPB services, access customer support guides, easily sign up for GEPB alerts, and learn about all available products and programs. So check it out today, GlasgowEPB.com.
Healthcare changes all the time, but at Hatchet Home Medical, we're a consistent friend to help you navigate the road to good health. We are your headquarters for all types of equipment and supplies to let you recuperate at home, and we keep up with all the changes. So let us file the paperwork for insurance reimbursement. Hatchet Home Medical's huge showroom and warehouse on Park Avenue in Glasgow lets us stock what you need, and our trained technicians are courteous and helpful when setting up and instructing you or your caretakers. We feature a 24-hour on-call phone number to help in emergencies. And remember, all healthcare professionals, Hatchet's Home Medical has the area's largest selection of nurses' uniforms and supplies, featuring the best of name brands. Whether you need a wheelchair, walker, hospital bed, or other assistive device, the name to remember is Hatchet Home Medical in the Park Avenue Shopping Center in Glasgow. Phone 651-9551.
Welcome back into WCLU Local News. It's great to have you with us today. 622 and 72 degrees. A bit rainy out there this morning. If you're getting out and noticing, the roadways are pretty wet this morning, so be aware of that. Allow some extra traveling distance and take that slow. School buses are out at this time of the morning as well. We can't stress that enough to you. It's easy to forget after a couple of months of not having that in your morning commute routine, but they are back as students in all Barron County schools have now returned for the semester. Looks like showers and thunderstorms are likely again this morning. They are going to stick around a little bit more after that too. Looks like patchy fog tonight and otherwise mostly clear, however. We are looking at a 70% chance of precip through this morning. Otherwise mostly cloudy, gradually becoming sunny and a high near 85 degrees. For the rest of the week, it looks like we're going to bounce between some partly cloudy skies and sunny skies, and the next chance of showers after today looks like maybe a small chance this weekend, Friday into Saturday, and then, of course, Saturday into Sunday. In more news this hour, Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell says he's far from satisfied with the federal response to catastrophic flooding in eastern Kentucky, but the senator acknowledges that communication problems has complicated the outreach to flood victims. McConnell on Monday visited the Kentucky Emergency Management Operations Center. He was updated on the government response to the flood-stricken Appalachian region. The GOP leader says he's closely monitoring the situation, and he kept open the potential of pushing the changes at the Federal Emergency Management Agency. The flooding a month ago destroyed homes and businesses and caused significant damage to schools, roads, bridges, and water systems. It also caused 39 deaths. A Kentucky city reports about $4 million in housing funds was stolen electronically. The city of Lexington said in a news release Monday that the funds included federal rent assistance and transitional housing funds and were originally intended for Community Action Council. The release said police believe someone outside government directed an electronic funds transfer into a private account. The city says initial information shows no criminal involvement of city or Community Action Council employees. Officials Officials say that those funds were tracked to 3 wire transfers into a private account, which was frozen by the financial institution. Officials say they received a $5 million federal grant to help prevent wrong-way crashes on interstates. A statement Monday from the state transportation cabinet says the funding will go toward implementing a pilot program that will use new technology to detect when someone goes the wrong way and then alert the wrong-way driver, other drivers, and emergency responders. Kentucky's wrong-way driving and integrated safety technology system will include digital and roadway signs, cameras, and sensors. Officials say locations in Fayette and Jefferson counties, they'll be chosen based on crash history and interstate ramp designs. The system could. I'm Brennan Crane.
News, weather, sports, and more. Weekdays on Good Morning Live and Local on WCLU at WCLUradio.com and Facebook.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
One man in custody in connection to a deadly crash in Jefferson County. Thomas Catalina under arrest for driving the wrong way on I-65 Sunday near the Watterson Expressway. He hit multiple vehicles with his pickup truck. The deceased victim is identified as Raju Masood of Bowling Green. The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet will use $5 million of new federal funding to boost the effort to prevent wrong-way crashes. The 5-year period between 2015 and 2020, recording 88 wrong-way crashes, which killed 16 people and injured nearly 30. Drivers who are either confused, distracted, or under the influence will use the exit ramp to access the highway by mistake and end up traveling the wrong way. The Commonwealth wanting to implement a pilot program which would alert wrong-way drivers and other drivers to the problem and hopefully avoid crashes. Over $2 million in funding will help improve fire departments and extend water lines to 58 homes throughout Lawrence County. Governor Andy Beshear awarding the funding to the county yesterday. A new walking and bike path and sidewalks connecting local schools will also be installed. The renovation of Cave Trail at Mammoth Cave Park is set to begin this fall. The park is receiving $6.5 million to rehab about a mile of cave trail from the new entrance to the frozen Niagara entrance. The funding is provided by the Great American Outdoors Act. Among the improvements will be replacing narrow stairways and using concrete and paving stones to harden the existing trails. The city of Georgetown will soon be the home of a new distillery. Blue Run Spirits will be opening a whiskey distillery in Georgetown with an over $50 million investment. Governor Andy Beshear adding about 60 spirits businesses throughout Kentucky directly employ over 5,300 people in the Commonwealth. I'm Rob Carpenter.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
I grow corn and beans, and I raise cattle. What I do is good for people, good for Kentucky. And what I don't do is good for the environment. I don't let fertilizer, chemicals, manure, or good farmland run off into the creek. And you know what? Turns out that also makes me more productive and more efficient. If you're a farmer, develop an ag water quality plan. It's never been easier. Go to eec.ky.gov/agwater to find out how.
You may have been born to be wild, but you weren't born to be dead from a needless motorcycle crash. So when you're even just a little impaired, you do not get your motor running. You do not head out on the highway. What you do is get a ride from a sober friend, a taxi or rideshare service, or public transportation. Because you may be looking for adventure, but you're not looking for trouble. Please ride sober. Paid with funds.
In my family, I'm the planner. From the weekly grocery list to the family vacation. Everything. All the details. Though planning for the end was something I left off my list. Then a friend told me about South Central Kentucky Monuments in Glasgow. She said even though it wasn't on her to-do list, seeing them was one of the best planning decisions she'd ever made. South Central Kentucky Monuments showed her the different options they have available. Even an image of the finished monument. And since South Central Kentucky Monuments does all the stone carving in-house, it cost much less than she expected. They made the process easy to create the exact memorial she wanted. So my husband and I made a plan to see them. We are so happy with our decision. We encouraged our family and friends to do the same. It'll be the best planning decision you ever make.
Buy direct and save money at South Central Kentucky Monuments at the corner of East Front Street and Columbia Avenue. Family owned in Glasgow since 2010.
For over 25 years, Window World has provided quality products for homeowners around the country. Every window we sell is custom made for optimal energy efficiency and superior durability. Plus, the vinyl finish means they will never need painting. Just like our windows, entry doors from Window World are made to last, featuring a durable composite frame that will never rot. When it comes time to replace your windows or doors, trust Window World. Call 270-780-9600.
Simply the best for less. Window World.
You are listening to Good Morning Live, WCLU. It is 6:30 and 71 degrees. We've had 3/10 of an inch of rain in the last 24 hours here at our WCLU studios. In area funeral announcements this hour, Herbert Leroy Sims, age 69, of Greensburg, died Saturday at Campbellsville Nursing and Rehab. He made a profession of faith in Christ and attended Summersville Baptist Church. Herbert was also a yellow cab taxi driver. He is survived by his wife, Christy Ann Warner Sims, a son and daughter-in-law, Herbert Jr. and Tammy Sims, a daughter, Ethel Sims, 5 grandchildren, a sister, Betty, and many other relatives and friends. Honoring Herbert's wishes, cremation was chosen. No formal services or visitation will be held at this time. The Coward and Parrott Funeral Home is in charge. Dallas Decker, Jr., age 78, of Cleveland, died Sunday at Hospice House of Southern Kentucky. The Edmonson County native was a U.S. Air Force veteran. He served during the Vietnam era, and he worked for many years as a heavy equipment operator for the Pyramid Coal and Stuart Ritchie. He was very talented and could draw the most beautiful, realistic portraits. Most importantly, Dallas was a devout family man, a true friend and neighbor, and was of the Christian faith. He is survived by his wife, Mary Siderick Decker, his sons, Mark and John Decker, 5 grandchildren, Lauren, Evan, Carson, Amelia, and Wyatt Decker, and several nephews, nieces, and cousins. The service for Dallas Decker will be at the Patton Funeral Home's Brownfield Chapel at 11 o'clock on Saturday morning. Interment at the John Stevenson Family Cemetery. Graveside Military Honors conducted by Nesbitt Alexander Memorial Post number 6937 of the VFW. Visitation begins Friday afternoon at 2 p.m. Christine Mills Page Greene, 95, of Cincinnati, died at her residence last Thursday. Christine earned her Bachelor of Science degree from Kentucky State. She began her teaching career in Middlesboro and later in Chicago. She and her husband would later move to Tallahassee, Florida, working for Florida A&M University, and eventually settled down working for the public school system in Cincinnati. She would retire from teaching after 30 years, where she would enjoy traveling, bowling, arts, and playing golf. Christine became a founder and lifetime member of the Les Birdies Women's Golf Club, where she designed the logo and obtained a patent from the Library of Congress. The funeral service for Christine Greene will be Saturday at 11 o'clock at the Horse Cave Baptist Church. Burial to follow in the Horse Cave Cemetery. Visitation will be held at the church on Saturday from 10 until 11 o'clock. The Brooks Funeral Home is in charge of those arrangements. James Willis Short, age 91, of Moss, Tennessee, died Monday at the Palace Nursing and Rehab. He was born in 1930, a son of the late Estill James and Mildred Short. He married Susan Estill White, who preceded him in death of this year on February the 9th. They had been married for 72 years. Willis was a cattle and tobacco farmer, and he always enjoyed raising a big garden. During the Korean War, he served in the U.S. Army, and he was a member of and elder of the Oak Grove Church of Christ. 2 special nieces survive Willis, Leanne Short Wilbur and husband Scott of Greenwood, Indiana, and Leah Short Cavanaugh and husband Paul of Brownsburg, Indiana. 2 brothers, 4 sisters, and many other relatives. The funeral service for James Willis Short will be at 11 o'clock Wednesday at the Bartley & Sons Funeral Home in Tompkinsville. Burial will follow in the Pitcock Cemetery in Moss, Tennessee. Visitation begins at 9 o'clock Wednesday morning at the funeral home. In lieu of flowers, donations can be made to the Alzheimer's Association. Bartley & Sons Funeral Home is conducting the funeral services. Levi Elliott Willis, age 14, of Wendyville, died Saturday. The Edmonson County native was a student at Edmonson County Middle School and would have been in the 8th grade this year. He was a country boy through and through. He often helped his dad with pets and chickens, and together they'd work with them on a daily basis. As Levi got older, he became more interested in riding dirt bikes and ATVs along with other hobbies that boys enjoy. His greatest accomplishment was when he and his dad were both baptized on June the 12th of this year. Levi survived by his parents, Ricky and Felicia Willis, his siblings, Chris Holt and Brittany Turney, his grandmother, Mary Willis and Shirley Hampton, nieces, Sadie and Hazley Turner, and with several uncles, aunts, and cousins also surviving. The funeral service for Levi Willis will be at 11 o'clock Friday at the Bee Springs Missionary Baptist Church. Interment to follow in the New Home Church Cemetery. Visitation begins at 3 o'clock on Wednesday at the Patton Funeral Home's Brownfield Chapel. Visitation Friday will be at the Bee Springs Missionary Baptist Church. Roger Earl Parrish, age 70, of Beaumont, died Sunday at the Monroe County Medical Center. Roger was a dedicated trucker for the majority of his life. He loved being on the road and was also a beloved friend, husband, father, grandfather, and great-grandfather. In addition to truck driving and being on the road, he loved time on the lake and camping with his family. Survivors include his wife, Shirley Spears Parrish, 2 daughters, Tina Asher and Susan Crowder, a son, Rodney Parrish, 2 sisters, Vicki and Noletta Firkin, 1 brother, Tim Parrish, grandchildren, Ariel Reese, Ethan Chenoweth, Harley and Haley Asher, and Hannah and Jonathan Parrish, and great-grandchildren, Briggs McDonald, Aiken Reese, and Noah, Leah, and Layla Parrish. The funeral service for Roger Parrish will be Thursday at 1 o'clock at McMurtry Funeral Home. Burial to follow in Union No. 2 Cemetery. Visitation begins Wednesday afternoon at 2 p.m. Ronnie Glenn Harper, age 58, of Edmonton, died at his residence Monday, a lifelong logger and avid hunter and fisherman. Survivors include his wife, Tammy Brown Harper, 2 children, T.J. Harper and Kimberly Brown, 3 grandchildren, Lucas Brown and Braden and Caroline Ellis, 2 beloved animals, Tiny and Blackie, his mother, Betty England Harper, 1 brother, Jerry Harper, 2 sisters, Beverly Jessie and Lori Shields, father and mother-in-law, Travis Wade and Mary Sue Brown, 2 brothers-in-law, David and Duck Brown, 1 sister-in-law, Debbie Brown Cash. Many nieces and nephews and family and friends also survive. The service for Ronnie Harper will be at 2 Wednesday at the Butler Funeral Home. Interment of the Harper Cemetery. Visitation begins at 4 p.m. this afternoon. Marie Grider, age 87, of Burkesville, died Sunday at Cumberland County Hospital. Marie was a member of the Amandaville Christian Church, a former employee of Bob Evans, and a lifelong farmer. Survivors include a nephew, Freddie Shaw, 2 nieces, Brenda Shaw and Sue Burton, great-nieces and nephews, Charlie, Adam, and Evan Shaw, along with a host of other relatives and friends. The service for Marie Grider will be Wednesday at 1 at Ballou and Stott's Funeral Home, burial in the Grider Family Cemetery. Visitation begins at 5 o'clock this afternoon. Mary Jean Gardner, age 91, of Greensburg, died Saturday at University of Louisville Hospital, a member of the Ladies' Chapel United Methodist Church, where she served as a Sunday school teacher for many years, along with other duties. She also had served as the church treasurer for 25 years and taught school for 37 years in the Greene County school system. Mary Jean was a member of the Greene County Retired Teachers, the Kentucky Retired Teachers, and a Kentucky Colonel. She is survived by her husband, Clarence Hayes Todd Gardner, and a daughter and son-in-law, Teresa and Bobby Wade, a daughter-in-law, Diana Tucker, a grandson, Benjamin Tucker, a sister and brother-in-law, Judith and Jerry Resch, sisters-in-law, Sarah Hodges, and many nieces and nephews and other relatives. The service for Mary Jean Gardner will be at noon today at the Coward and Parrott Funeral Home, with burial to follow in the Ladies' Chapel Cemetery. Visitation begins at 10 o'clock this morning at the funeral home. Funeral services for Mary Louise Furlong, age 95, of Glasgow, will be at 11 o'clock this morning at the A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home, burial in the New Salem Cemetery. Visitation is in progress. Donations can be made to the New Salem Cemetery. Obituary information is available 24 hours a day free at WCLUradio.com and on the WCLU app. No login is necessary.
It's important to know you can send unique designs at a price you can afford when you send a design created by Jeff's Country Florist. And if you can't seem to find that one-of-a-kind unique gift, then come see us at Jeff's Country Florist. These great designs wines and gifts are available for local delivery or in-store pickup. Stop by and browse our showroom at 4911 Scottsville Road in Glasgow. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 till 5, Saturdays, 9 till noon. Let's talk. 270-678-3575. There's only one Jeff's Country Florist.
Hey, while we're talking about Jeff's Country Florist, they're very much involved in the big Gospel Fest, the gospel concerts going on all week at the Gospel Fest at the Loretta Lynn Ranch in Hurricane Mills, Tennessee. Jeff Sneed and his family have been involved in this for several years. It starts tomorrow and goes through Sunday. Different artists each day. Listen to these names: Guy Penrod, the Goodman Revival, the Chuck Wagon Gang, the Inspirations, the Perrys, Troy Burns Family, the Kingsmen, the Seagulls, Next Generation, the Dixie Echoes, and the host group, which is our own Sneed family, along with many other artists. You can call 646-0354, or you can go to gospelfest.co and get more information.
When we lost Frank, we lost a good friend. Father, husband, colleague, and coach. He meant a lot to all of us. Today, we had a chance to tell him that.
When someone close to you passes on, you want to commemorate their life in a special way. That's why individual requests are such an important part of our funeral services. We strive to meet your specific needs for the most fitting service for your loved ones. A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home, a celebration of love.
It's fall, and that means football. Yes! Our favorite teams are ready to play. It's also time to make sure you have the fastest internet. SCRTC has internet speeds up to 1 gig for fiber customers. And don't miss your favorite team this season when they play on TV. Ask about SCRTC's digital cable, including the sports package, which is now streaming with the MyStream TV app. Now, go cheer on your favorite team this football season and let SCRTC keep you in the game with internet, phone, TV, and security this season. Yes!
641 WCLU. I got to get rolling on some birthdays right here because I've got to sound a gong for a number of folks, some very nice folks indeed. Let me get over here and tell you about the 70th birthday today. It's number 70 for Miss Kathy Lowe. How about the 80th birthday today? Ms. Marie Ward. Marie Ward is 80 today, and so is a fine gentleman, Mr. Larry T. Glass. Mr. Larry Glass is 80 today. My goodness. We also have Katie Wells, Dr. Barrett Lessenberry, Gil Pointer, Susan Simmons, Vicki Lyle, Tammy Clark, Eva Rennick, Collins DeRossett is 3, Tammy Thomas is 54, Mr. Bob Harvey celebrates, Miss Samantha Ray Pettigo, Jimmy Russell is 61 today, Jacqueline Westmoreland has a big birthday, and Anna and Chloe call up to wish her a happy birthday. It is Mark Dixon's birthday. It's Angela Martin's birthday today, too. 651-9149, 800-956-1023, and online here at WCLUradio.com. It is Katie Wells Day on the radio. A nice gal having a birthday. If you see Katie Wells around today, let her know she's good as gold from WCLU and a little taste of Texas, y'all.
I'm Rhiannon Branch with Brownfield Ag Headlines. The USDA's national corn condition rating dipped a little bit again last week, while soybeans held steady after another widely mixed week for weather. As of Sunday, 8% of corn is mature and 4% of soybeans are dropping leaves. 50% of spring wheat and 18% of rice is harvested, and just a quarter of the nation's pasture land is rated good to excellent. More news coming up on Brownfield.
Hello everyone, this is Joe and Rachel Dotson from Best One Tire in Glasgow.
We wanted to personally thank you for supporting our tire and repair business at 100 Shawn Lane.
Many of our customers come to us for ag and truck tire, but did you know we are capable of serving any size car or pickup?
With over 300 stores behind us, our buying power means we can pass on to you the very best pricing in our area.
We have many tires and tubes in stock, and we can do alignments on just about anything that rolls.
I was raised in Metcalfe County. After being away for a few years, Joe and I brought our family back to the area, and nothing brings us greater pleasure than servicing our neighbors when they are broke down in the field or on the road. We are here for you. We want to help you by taking the stress out of buying your next tires. We will work with any budget, anytime.
Come in and find out why we are the fastest growing tire company in Glasgow. We love this business. We love this town. Pretty soon you will be coming to our new store out on Highway 90 right here in Glasgow.
Best One Tire and Service, creating one raving fan at a time.
The president of the Iowa Corn Promotion Board says a recent trade mission to Brazil showed growth opportunities for U.S. ethanol. Kelly Neuenhouse tells Brownfield he's optimistic that Brazil can become a key export market now that tariffs have been dropped against U.S. ethanol.
They have that national E27.5 blend that they want to maintain, and so we feel pretty good that we'll be able to import some ethanol to Brazil.
A Central Illinois farmer says energy has joined fertilizer on the list of expensive inputs with questionable availability. Len Corzine tells Brownfield their farm's electric and natural gas bills have more than doubled. And while cooler temperatures have been great for corn yield, it has slowed down the natural drying process.
With a slower dry down means that we will probably use more electricity, more natural gas, more propane, and the price points on that are troubling.
Rhiannon Branch, Brownfield Ag News.
Fascinating news from the ag world as we find out each and every day. Brought to you by Best One Tire here on WCLU. Speaking of ag, we got 3/10 of an inch of rain in the past 24 hours. Don't see anything knocking on the door as of yet. All the rain that was in here in south central Kentucky is well to the southeast of Lexington now, it looks like, on the radar screen. But we do have a morning of some more potential shower activity, but that will sort of clear off as we get through the afternoon. Remember, the South Central Kentucky East Fellowship of Christian Athletes hosting their victory dinner tonight at the Cave City Convention Center. Starts at 6. Guest speakers, the Shepherd family, Jeff and Stacy Shepard. Both played basketball at UK, and their oldest son, Reed, also has committed to play for the Wildcats next year. You can listen tonight as the family shares their stories of how basketball and Christ shaped their lives as a family. And also don't forget the Hart County Farmers Market taking place in downtown Munfordville today in the parking lot of the former Sullivan Building. Starts at 7 o'clock this morning. Next up on the list of things to get done is to go backwards. We're going to put it in reverse. 100 years worth of history that has truly shaped the place we call home. And Sam Terry will join me to talk about the past coming up after we hear from the sponsor of the archives. I'm talking about Joseph A. Wade Industrial Hardware Services. You know the motto, history is made by the hard work that stands the test of time.
When there's work to be done, you get to it. And Joseph A. Wade Incorporated is here to help. They repair and make hydraulic hoses and repair hydraulic cylinders. If there's a problem, the Joseph A. Wade hydraulic team will help you find a solution. They're also a distributor for Croyle products. Plus, black and orange nitrile gloves are back in stock. Locally owned and operated, Joseph A. Wade Incorporated. Here to help since 1985. Located in the curve of Industrial Drive in Glasgow.
Well, summer's over, but that joint pain is still there. Time to do something. It's Henry Royce, and I want you to call QC Kinetics right now. You've put it off long enough. It's time to get real lasting relief from chronic pain in your knees and back and shoulder and hips. QC Kinetics can get you moving again with cutting-edge regenerative treatments with no drugs, no downtime, and no surgery. Regenerative medicine uses highly concentrated healing properties from your own body to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. And QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in this exciting breakthrough natural approach to eliminating joint pain. Lots of people here have done this, and they are living life to the fullest, pain-free. Don't assume the old ways of dealing with joint pain are the only ways. Call QC Kinetics today. Stop putting it off. Call now for a free consultation. 270-974-4500. QC Kinetics, 270-974-4500. That's 270-974-4500. Sam Terry is up and running this morning in good fashion, I think. Did that rumble bumble wake you up this morning, Sam?
Actually, I slept right through it.
Well, okay. There's nothing like honesty on this show, for sure, isn't it? I was already awake, so it wasn't like it woke me up, but, you know. Actually, before we get started, Sam, I got to tell you a couple more birthdays here I want to be sure we get on before we move forward. We just learned about a teenager, Sam, Caleb Young. Caleb is 13 today. Let's welcome him into the teens. And then Miss Abby Carver. We understand an excellent teacher out at North Jackson, Abby Carver, has a birthday today. There we go. We got birthdays. Now let's go back 100 years and see how we got here, okay?
Okay.
This was the day in 1922 the Glasgow Times had more news about the American Legion. This is a fascinating story here. Dedicatory ceremonies for the American Legion Memorial that was erected in the rotunda of Mammoth Cave is going to be held today at 10:30. Now, the monument in which will be placed the names of the dead from every state in the Union was erected by Barron County Post number 28 of the American Legion. The stone was executed by the new Glasgow Marble Works. The ceremonies have been arranged as the feature of the state convention, the American Legion of Kentucky, that is underway in Glasgow. We had some pictures of that, and I was thinking we might look at those pictures. Sam came up with some pictures about the American Legion Memorial, but we'll share those a little bit later on. But it was a big deal. This was going to be commemorating everybody in the entire country that had that honor bestowed upon them, wasn't it, Sam?
It was, and it was a big deal, and that monument contains a crypt, and inside that crypt were placed the paperwork listing all of the names of those soldiers who perished in World War I, which was then still being called the Great War.
All right.
And then that monument and its companion, a monument by the American War Mothers, were moved off of the display inside Mammoth Cave, and they were largely forgotten for decades. And thanks to the diligent research of some rangers and folks at Mammoth Cave, the idea to restore those monuments and put them back in their original location where the public could see them took hold. And so back in 2017, just 5 years ago on this date, there was a rededication of those monuments, and it was a very interesting story because most people here didn't even know of their existence.
We got that picture on EPB6 and on Facebook Live. It's a really interesting rendering of this monument, and it's that's one of the things that sometimes people who are historians like you wonder how things get lost. But things that are of an historical nature can sometimes get put up out of sight, out of mind, for no real explainable reason, but we're glad that they were found for sure.
Indeed. One would think you couldn't lose a big granite monument.
That's right. Well, you just kind of...
But it was kind of tucked off in a dark corner.
Keep falling over it, and you just kind of, you don't think about it anymore. But I'm glad that in 2017 they got that monument back up and running over there at Mammoth Cave. Has a great heritage to it, for sure. This day in 1932, during the recent meeting of the Glasgow Chamber of Commerce last week, Mr. O.F. Curd, representing the Glasgow Railroad Company, made an address before the meeting stating that the railroad has been showing a loss for some months, giving facts and figures to substantiate his claims, stating the railroad paid $7,500 a year to salaries of employees in addition to what was spent with the merchants and the property owners of Glasgow, stressing what it would mean to Glasgow to have this industry close, and urged the cooperation of the Glasgow Chamber of Commerce and general business interests to lend their aid to keep Glasgow a railroad point. Now, this was 1932. You think the Depression had something to do with that, Sam?
I believe it did.
Operating a railroad couldn't be a very inexpensive undertaking, for sure. And this gentleman here, this Mr. Curd, was representing the Glasgow Railroad Company, and he was explaining to the chamber, look, here's how much we pay. Cash is short. But I'm sure that was a really important thing, for sure.
Certainly.
All right, 1942. First things first, I've got a picture here to share with you that Brendan has up on the screen right here. You know, yesterday we talked about more twins being born at the hospital. We had the names of a number of the twins who were born, twin boys born this day in 1942. Well, I got a good visit from Tommy Jackson, who knows a whole lot about a whole lot. He has been working. I just dropped my notes on the floor right there. He has been working since the year 2000 to identify all the twins in this picture and to learn more about where all of these twins are. This was a twins party, National Hospital Day, May the 12th of 1949 at T.J. Sampson Community Hospital. And there's some big names in here that you know. And, of course, Tommy Jackson has interest because he and his twin brother Terry were in that picture in 1949. In fact, they won the most identical twins contest, Sam. Each one of them received a Kodak Brownie camera. How's that for a prize?
Wow.
And there's a lot of other names I can mention that you would know, but Bobby and Charlie Goodman, and we talked about Jack and Jinx Britt earlier this month. Jerry and Terry Reed, Freddie and Teddy Ray, Mary Lou Brody Myers, and Martha Sue Brody Sarton, Jerry and Terry Peden, and others. And that's just one of the pictures. There's another picture that was the twins party day where there's some other twins identified. You can kind of see their growth. Now, the conversation that I had with Tommy Jackson was the fact that his work that he's been working on since 2000 is going to be put on display at the South Central Kentucky Cultural Center. And as you can see on that picture on there, you can see a lot of folks that maybe you can recognize, but I've always loved that picture. It's right outside of the maternity ward there at the older part of the T.J. Sampson Hospital, and my goodness, what an impressive group of young folks coming into the community there, sir.
Wonderful bit of history there.
And I'm anxious to see, like I said, I didn't get a chance to talk to Tommy as much yesterday as I should have, but you want to be sure and see, you'll know people in this picture for sure, and you'll enjoy seeing them and trying to pick them out. It's fun to, I enjoyed looking at how Tommy had listed the names, and I was trying to find them, you know. And I did pretty good on some of them, but it's a great picture either way, and I appreciate Tommy sharing that. We've got a twins history around here for sure. Also this day in 1942, those interested in taking voice lessons are invited to see Mrs. William Crump of Smiths Grove, who's going to be at the Music Hall here next Wednesday between the hours of 10 and 2 to organize a class. Who wouldn't want to learn better how to sing than to have a class in it from a noted music teacher around here, Sam? Another opportunity in 1942. 1952, County School Superintendent Mitchell Davis reported that the next week's initial enrollment is expected to be about 3,600 students, and that's a slight increase in the number of high school students. Mr. Davis said 47 schools will be operated this year. That's 47 schools, Sam. Exclamation point on how we talk about how many schools there used to be in Barron County. And this is 1952, running, can you imagine operating 47 schools?
That would be quite a task.
They also operated 4 consolidated schools, 1 3-teacher school, and 42 one-room schools. 2 rural schools have been discontinued this year at Oak Grove and at Bon Air. The Bon Air school only has been suspended and will be resumed when there are sufficient pupils. Glasgow City School Superintendent James Depp said 1,700 students are expected to report to school next week. This will be about 175 over last year. It would include 225 youngsters who will start classes for the first time this year. My goodness. An enrollment boom from 1952 in schools, it sounds.
That's quite a group of first graders.
It really is. That's right. You know, I don't know how many teachers they had ready to take that group on, but I'm sure they adjusted quickly. And you can see it's just good to get positive press on all of our school systems around here because it has made a difference for sure. 1962. Airman 3rd Class Seaborn E. Elzy of Cave City is being reassigned to the U.S. Air Force Support Unit in Turkey following his graduation from the U.S. Air Force Medical Service School for Operating Room Specialist. Airman Elzy attended WKU and is the son of Mrs. Cordelia Langley of Cave City and Robert C. Elzy of Baltimore. Now, you know, we lost Airman Third Class Elsie not very long ago, and I know he was a fine gentleman. Sam, you knew him a whole lot better than I did, but certainly we lost a great one then, and certainly you can see how he served his country well.
He certainly did, and he also served his community very well, and wore a lot of different hats in Cave City.
Indeed, and he was just a fun guy to talk to for sure, but that was some of his history from 1962. This day in 1972, Barron food stamps will begin on October the 1st. That's a different twist. Food stamps applications are being taken between September the 1st and October the 1st at the unemployment office. A little twist on making ends meet from 1972. 1982, here's the serviceman serving our country from our neighborhood, Edgar E. McDowell Jr., Gary I. McPeak, James D. Pettigo, Charles E. Akery, and Mark E. Rush. Some good names serving their country in 1982. We finished up in 1992. We have one to wrap up here in 2002. This is about, no, wait a minute. I think we wrapped that one up. No, we didn't. I think we did finish, Sam, in 2002. And it's 2012, where we're going to tell you about the winners of the Hart County Fair Karaoke Contest. Guess who was belting them out over in Hart County in 2012? It was Amy Daniel and Blake Hensley. And I'm sure there was always a big attendance over there in the Hart County Karaoke Contest, don't you think?
Oh, no doubt about it.
And probably just a whole lot of fun. Probably discovered some more young singers there. We had some singing going on around here, you know. And we had that lady coming over here for conducting the class there in 1942. Karaoke at Hart County. Servicemen serving well. And yes, we have twins. And yes, be watching for information on when that exhibit will be ready to roll over there at the South Central Kentucky Cultural Center. It's the archives. It's the place we call home. And it's a fascinating part of our history. And Sam, I appreciate all the wisdom. Sam provides a whole lot of color commentary, the over and above. He connects the dots for sure. And it's a fascinating part of our day, and we hope you enjoy it as well. Have a good day, Sam.
You too, Henry.
We'll resume tomorrow, sir. That's the archives on WCLU.
The just because deal. Hey, oh, what's this?
Breakfast from Mickey D's.
From me?
Yep.
Why?
'Cause it's morning and you like McDonald's. Let's eat while it's hot.
There's a deal for every act of kindness at McDonald's.
Right now, get a sausage biscuit and hash browns pairing for just $2.50. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Let me ask you something. What do you see when you look at your home and your car? Do you see a bundle, a combo deal? That's how other insurance companies see them. But a State Farm agent sees so much more, because a State Farm agent sees your home and your car as more than just four walls and four wheels. They see the things you've worked really hard for. So why not give them the protection they deserve? Call State Farm agent Mike Bryant in Glasgow at 270-651-3608.
Highland Pharmacy on Rogers Road in Glasgow has been a community favorite since 2012, and there's a reason for that. They consistently offer a wide range of customized services, quality care, and a commitment to you. Over-the-counter COVID tests are available and can be billed to most insurance carriers. You can also receive the COVID vaccine at Highland Pharmacy. Register at highland-pharmacy.com. That's highland-pharmacy.com. Highland Pharmacy, a community favorite since 2012.
Anderson Windows and Doors with Stormwatch Protection are designed to meet building codes for coastal locations from Maine to Miami, Gainesville to Galveston, and they're on guard even when no one is home. Anderson Windows and Doors with Stormwatch Protection. The uglier the weather gets, the more beautiful they become.
See the full line of Anderson Windows and Doors at Glasgow Building Supply, 31E Bypass in Glasgow. Anderson Windows. Come home to Anderson.
This WCLU weather update brought to you by Southern States.
One thing's for sure, seasons do change. We might not be able to predict the date of the next cold snap, but at Southern States, in business since 1923, we've seen some patterns. We're ready to fill your tanks and make sure you won't be chilled out by the seasonal changes. Southern States is ready to help you with seed and fertilizer for your pastures and your home lawns. We just love helping our customers prepare for the next season. We're Southern States, 300 Sampson Street in Glasgow.
All right, in the WCLU Forecast Center, we've had lots of calls this morning said, how much rain did we have? I guess I hadn't been giving it enough. But we got 3/10 of an inch of rain yesterday here in the WCLU rain bucket, and a little more than that in the further east that this system has traveled this morning. Today's showers likely, possibly a thunderstorm, but it'll become sunny very quickly, it looks like, because the radar screen is really thinning out of any additional rain so far, but 85 is going to be the high. Tonight we're going to be completely clear. We'll drop to 61. Wednesday sunny and 83. Wednesday night clear and 58. Thursday, a sunny day and a high of 85 degrees. And as you hear, tonight's low, 61. I'll repeat that because when I got up this morning and checked the thermometer, along about 4:07, it was 74 degrees. So I might do some of my preparatory workout on the back porch tomorrow if we can get that 61 going. We got 3/10 of an inch of rain. Don't scare you there. 3/10 of an inch of rain. 0.30. Northwest winds at 5. 98% humidity. 71. WCLU weather brought to you by Southern States.
When you look around Glasgow and Barron County, you see that South Central Bank's roots run deep, having served generations of families and supported some of the most significant business growth in the region. We are proud to be a part of this community. For 50 years, our customers have received superior service from South Central Bank, and we remain committed to that. We continue to build relationships that are making an impact on the community we call home. South Central Bank, small enough to know you, big enough to help. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Everyone has the right to control their own future. This is not the case if you've been seriously injured in a car wreck or a big truck wreck. The insurance companies will take advantage of you. We've recovered over $1 billion for our clients. We're passionate about getting big dollar results for our clients. Control starts with a call. Hughes & Coleman, 800-800-4600.
Principal office in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Services may be performed by others. Over $1 billion recovered for our clients in Kentucky and Tennessee.
Bed sores, broken bones, dehydration, and malnutrition. If you suspect that your loved one has been abused in a nursing home, call Hughes & Coleman today. Control starts with a call. 800-800-4600.
Principal office in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Services may be performed by others.
J. Marshall Hughes here with Hughes & Coleman Injury Lawyers. School's back in session. Buses are on the road, and children are walking to school. Please slow down and drive carefully. Keep our kids safe.
Principal office in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Little Caesars presents delicious duos like bacon and eggs, spaghetti and meatballs, and of course peanut butter and jelly. Now, Little Caesars brings you a large, hot and ready slices and sticks. A delicious duo featuring 4 slices of pepperoni pizza, together with 8 tasty slices of Italian cheese sticks, plus crazy sauce for only $6. Little Caesars hot and ready slices and sticks is just $6. Available every day when you walk in between 4 and 8 at Little Caesars.
Pizza. At participating locations plus tax. Prices may vary.
I got a question to ask, and if you got an answer, then we've got a pizza coming your way. That's how it works here on the trivia each and every morning this time, brought to you by Little Caesars Pizza. You know the number to call, 651-9149 or 800-956-1023. Here we go. Tell me, what is the Hebrew term for a good deed done out of a sense of religious duty? I'm looking for the Hebrew term for a good deed done out of a sense of religious duty. Do we have people who are fluent in Hebrew around here? I bet we do. 651-9149. 800-956-1023. What's the Hebrew term for a good deed done out of a sense of religious duty? Who knows? 651-9149, 800-956-1023. Little language trivia question here today. Let's see if anybody can jump on it. Hello, trivia.
Would it be tithing?
No, it's not right, but a good thought there for sure. This is a Hebrew term that's they use talking about a good deed done out of a sense of religious duty. Who knows that word? It's a word that I hear it used in different situations with things to do with the Jewish faith, and but nonetheless, let's see how we can figure this one out. The term does, by definition, mean a good deed done out of a sense of religious duty. What do you think? Anybody want to give it a try? Think real hard. See if you can come up with it. Trivia.
I can't really pronounce it, but a bar mitzvah.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. You are. That's as close as anybody has gotten, and I'm going to make you the winner, so we don't have a stumper. Now, first things first. Tell me who is speaking.
Shirley Milam.
Hey, Shirley Milam, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. This is my first time of winning.
Well, now I wish we could sound the gong for that, because that's important. Shirley, you say last name is Milam?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well,
but I just couldn't pronounce it.
Well, here's the thing. The word I'm looking for was mitzvah.
Mitzvah.
Mitzvah. M-I-T-Z-V-A-H. Now, you're right. There is a bar mitzvah. Now, a bar mitzvah is the celebration of a young man turning 13. That's a celebration of that's a religious duty of all people in the Jewish faith to celebrate a man becoming 13. They call it a bar mitzvah. They also celebrate, Shirley, when a young lady becomes a woman at the age of 13. And that term is the bat mitzvah. It's a B-A-T, bat mitzvah. Either way, it's a mitzvah. And there's other uses of the word mitzvah, but it is what it has to do with, Shirley, is celebrating something out of a sense of religious duty.
Yeah, I had heard that on watching some of these TV shows.
Yeah? Well, you know what? Watching that TV's got you a pizza today, hadn't it?
Yes.
All right. I tell you what to do, Shirley. You wait right there. I got to get your address so we can mail you that coupon. You can have a celebration. You can think about bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs while you are having that pizza, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Wait right there. I'll get it get your address here. Hang on just a second. Shirley Milam, she's a first-time winner. It's the bar mitzvah. The word mitzvah is a Hebrew word for sense of religious duty. Now we got it. I knew we wouldn't have a stumper on that. We just had to give them a minute. We'll play tomorrow. Won't you come on back?
When God was instructing the children of Israel as to how to escape the 10th and final plague, the final plague that would let them out of Egypt at last, he said in Exodus 12:13, "Now the blood shall be a sign for you on the houses where you are, and when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be on you to destroy you when I strike the land of Egypt." God demanded to see the blood in order for them to be saved. Now we fast forward in history to our present day. God still demands to see the blood in order to save us. Ephesians chapter 1 verse 7 says that it's the blood of Jesus that cleanses us from our iniquities. And in Revelation 7:14, it's those that have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb that shall be saved. This has been Bart Warren for the South Green Street Church of Christ.
I studied Spanish in college and never got fluent. But then I tried Babbel.
Want the most effective way to learn another language? In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel's bite-sized lessons will have you learning another language in as little as 3 weeks.
Babbel is all conversation-based, so it gets you speaking quickly about things you actually talk about in the real world.
You'll really see a difference in how you can speak and how conversational you can be in just a few weeks.
Babbel isn't just lessons. You can listen to podcasts, play games, watch videos. You can even take live online classes with a language teacher. There are so many ways to learn with Babbel.
The lessons online and in the app make it easy to learn from pretty much anywhere.
University studies have shown that using Babbel for 15 hours is equivalent to a semester of college Spanish. If you want to learn a new language, there's no better way than Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Good morning from Forever Communications, WCLU Glasgow, W276VO Glasgow, WLLI Muffordville, WLYE Glasgow, W253BN Glasgow. Good morning live.
CBS News Brief. There's a water emergency in Jackson, Mississippi after heavy rain compromised a treatment plant. State Health Officer Dr. Daniel Edney.
We can no longer flush the toilets, which is impacting individual sanitation in our homes, in our institutions, and certainly in our educational facilities, which is going to impact the ability of our students to be attending school.
Lawmakers in South Carolina will begin debate on an abortion ban that makes no exception for incest or rape. Democrat Beth Bernstein.
A lot of men and women who will be affected by this bill are standing up and saying, no, we do not want this.
20 Republicans have signed a letter saying they can't support the bill as is. Update on Ukraine's new offensive in southern Kherson from the BBC's Hugo Bachega.
President Zelensky didn't talk specifically about the operation there in the region. He said Ukrainian forces were retaking this country's territory, but he had a message for Russian forces. If you want to survive, it's time to flee.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Healthcare changes all the time, but at Hatchet Home Medical, we're a consistent friend to help you navigate the road to good health. We are your headquarters for all types of equipment and supplies to let you recuperate at home, and we keep up with all the changes. So let us file the paperwork for insurance reimbursement. Hatchet Home Medical's huge showroom and warehouse on Park Avenue in Glasgow lets us stock what you need, and our trained technicians are courteous and helpful when setting up and instructing you or your caretakers. We feature a 24-hour on-call phone number to help in emergencies. And remember, all healthcare professionals, Hatchet's Home Medical has the area's largest selection of nurses' uniforms and supplies, featuring the best of name brands. Whether you need a wheelchair, walker, hospital bed, or other assistive device, the name to remember is Hatchet Home Medical in the Park Avenue Shopping Center in Glasgow. Phone 651-9551.
Get glowing for your wedding day and have picture-perfect skin with the help of the experts at R Plus Med Spa. They prioritize a tailored approach, starting with a complimentary bridal consultation to share any skin concerns you have as you prepare for your big day. This is also perfect for the mother of the bride, the groom, and your bridal party. R Plus Med Spa, 210 Shane Drive in Glasgow. Call 270-651-4SPA and schedule your complimentary bridal consultation today.
Well, good morning and welcome into WCLU Local News. We're at Tuesday, August 30th, 2022. Time is 7:17. Welcome into WCLU Local News. Looking at temperatures today, we are going to see a bit of a warm day today. Those temperatures certainly not feeling like fall at this point, but we're not at that point yet to be technical. Today, showers and thunderstorms are likely, mainly before 10 o'clock this morning. Mostly cloudy and gradually becoming sunny, high near 85 degrees. Tonight, patchy fog, otherwise mostly clear, and a low around 60 degrees. We are looking at more showers toward the weekend. As far as the rest of this week goes, looks like it's pretty much just going to be pretty warm, highs above 85 degrees through Friday, even nearing 90 degrees on Friday. And then by the weekend, we're bouncing between about a 20 to 50% chance of showers between Friday and Sunday. Looks like your Labor Day forecast at this point, a 30% chance of showers, the best we can tell. Mostly sunny and a high near 85 degrees next Monday. Well, authorities in Cave City have had their hands full recently with several arrests. Officers in Cave City say that they observed a suspicious vehicle sitting in the McDonald's parking lot yesterday after the business had closed. An officer made contact with a man sitting in the driver's seat of that vehicle, identified as Kenneth Lilium. Officer Phillips detected the odor of marijuana coming from the vehicle, and a search was conducted. Officers allege a loaded 9mm Ruger handgun was located along with suspected marijuana. Lilliman was placed under arrest and transported to the Barron County Detention Center. He's charged with possession of a handgun by a convicted felon, possession of marijuana, and buying or possessing drug paraphernalia. We also understand in Cave City they arrested Nicholas Brown. They say this happened Saturday. Officer Josh Neal observed a dark blue four-door truck with expired registration plates traveling in the parking lot of Five Star there in Cave City. The truck's headlights or tail lights were not illuminated. Upon stopping the truck, the officer noticed that Brown apparently did not have his seatbelt on, and Brown did not have the registration receipt for the vehicle. Police say that Brown's operator's license, it came back suspended. Officers were then given consent to search that vehicle, and they say that they located a white substance along with a yellow ink pen that had been makeshift into a straw. Officers then testing that white substance with a field test kit, alleging that the test showed a purple-yellow color, indicating heroin, morphine, and oxycodone fentanyl. Brown was placed under arrest and transported to the Barron County Jail. He faces several charges, including traffic-related offenses and buying or possessing drug paraphernalia, as well as first-degree possessing of a controlled substance. And finally, in Cave City last Thursday, they say an officer there in Cave City observed a gray Jeep disregard a stop sign at the intersection of Grinstead Mill Road and Mammoth Cave Street. An officer initiated a traffic stop along Broadway Street, and they say that he made contact with a passenger identified as James York. York was confirmed to have 5 warrants for his arrest. A search of his person was conducted. Officers alleging that they located suspected methamphetamine. York was placed under arrest and lodged at the Barron County Jail. He faces charges relating to first-degree possession of a controlled substance and buying or possessing drug paraphernalia. Looks like gas prices are on the decline as we keep moving toward down the calendar. It looks like the $3.35 per gallon mark is where we're setting. According to AAA East Central's gas price report this week, the average price during the week last week, it was $3.38 per gallon. The average price during the week last year this time, $2.79 per gallon. Looking across the region, Bowling Green's at $3.43 per gallon, Elizabethtown $3.19, Louisville $3.59, Owensboro $3.31, and Paducah $3.23. As far as the analysis goes for this, we understand that crude oil prices increased slightly over the past week, but lower domestic demand for that gasoline, it kept those gas prices lower. Today's national average, it's still $1.16 less than the record set in mid-June and 71 cents more than a year ago. According to new data from the Energy Information Administration, gas demand decreased from 9.35 million barrels per day to 8.43 million barrels per day. Last week, that rate is 920,000 barrels per day lower than last year. Moreover, according to the EIA, total domestic gasoline stocks, they remained almost unchanged week over week. And with gas demand down and supplies unchanged, prices at the pump, they continue to fall. Well, we have let you know a little bit about something going on here locally. It's To the Brim Food Drive happening once again. Of course, if you're familiar with that happens annually, and that's going to be going on this week. They're at Houchins Southgate or Walmart here in Glasgow. And what is this? Well, this is where the Community Relief Fund is accepting food donations to stock their pantry. And you can do this a number of ways. You can grab some non-perishable food items while you're shopping at Houchins Southgate or Walmart and drop it in the bin by the door there. They do have $10 ready-made bags available, or you can hold a food drive at your place of business, church, or school, and then drop those off at the office here in Glasgow of Community Relief Fund. The final way to donate would be to mail a monetary donation to 317A Columbia Avenue, Glasgow, Kentucky, 42141. This To the Brim Food Drive, it's Wednesday, August 31st through this Saturday, September 3rd. Authorities in Bowling Green say they received a 911 call reporting a school shooting at Moss Middle School yesterday. When their officers arrived, they say they did not locate anyone involved in a shooting, and after a lengthy investigation, they have charged a juvenile with second-degree terroristic threatening. Apparently, that juvenile calling authorities yesterday specifying there was a school shooting, but at a later time, they determined that there was not one. They do commend the Warren County Public School System for their assistance in this investigation. That's coming from a recent post made by the Bowling Green Police Department on Facebook. A Kentucky city reports about $4 million in housing funds was stolen electronically. The city of Lexington said in a news release Monday that the funds included federal rent assistance and transitional housing funds and were originally intended for Community Action Council. The release said police believe someone outside government directed an electronic funds transfer into a private account. The city says initial information shows no criminal involvement of city or Community Action Council employees. Officials say the funds were tracked to 3 wire transfers into a private account, which was frozen by the financial institutions. No activity on this morning's 911 activity report. 724, 71 degrees. When we return, we're going to be talking with Doug Jones of Legacy Dairy about some recent accolades pulled away from the Kentucky State Fair. Some exciting news for this Highsville family. We'll be right back.
Most people will hesitate before planning a funeral in advance.
The funeral? We'll arrange that when the time comes.
But there's a lot to be said for advance planning. For one thing, you have the peace of mind of knowing that your arrangements have all been made. You can consider the options when your mind is clear, and you'll have the relief of knowing that your loved one will be well cared for. A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home, a celebration of love.
When you look around Glasgow and Barron County, you see that South Central Bank's roots run deep, having served generations of families and supported some of the most significant business growth in the region. We are proud to be a part of this community. For 50 years, our customers have received superior service from South Central Bank, and we remain committed to that. We continue to build relationships that are making an impact on the community we call home. South Central Bank, small enough to know you, big enough to help. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Looking for a great job working with friendly folks, competitive pay, and no weekends? Well, Key 1 Hour Cleaners in Glasgow is in need of a presser and a shirt presser. Apply in person at Key Cleaners location on Happy Valley Road in Glasgow. Key Cleaners is a family-owned business that's been successful over the past 35 years, providing great service and having the best employees. You should consider joining that group. Looking for a presser and a shirt presser? Apply at Key Cleaners, 401 Happy Valley Road in Glasgow. We need you.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's great to have you with us today. We're on the air today with Doug Jones of Legacy Dairy in Highsville, who has some exciting news. The Legacy Dairy has actually won a couple of accolades from the State Fair. But first, let's welcome Doug today. Doug, how are you?
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So you all have won 2 gold medals, or however you want to put it, certificates at the State Fair for your milk. That's chocolate milk and white milk. And I know that you all have a lot of exciting times at the dairy. You know, this has really been interesting to watch over the last couple of years how your all's operation has grown. But just let us know, what did you pull away from the State Fair recently?
We won the gold medal for the white milk and the chocolate milk both. They call it the full-fat division, which is basically a pasteurized product and not homogenized. So the judges took taste tests of different products that was sent in, and we come out on top with a gold medal in each category.
Right, and that sounds exciting. I know that maybe those early mornings sometimes it's not as exciting. You mentioned that you have just finished up this morning actually milking. Every day you get up, my understanding you said is 3:30, and is that your typical morning? You go to the barn and milk?
Yeah, it's 3:30 every morning. You got to do it every morning. Don't get a day off. I get up, do the milking, do the feeding, do all the washing, and do all the prep work for the day. And then today I actually have to go to my public job, so
right.
Pretty busy little feller.
Again, I know that you all have grown over the last couple of years. You all have really expanded across the whole state, really, putting your milk in several stores. I know that didn't prep you for this question, but do you have the number or an approximate number of stores that Legacy Dairy's milk is in now?
I wish I could. I've not had time to sit down and really count the different vendors that we have. We of course, are from Glasgow all the way to Lexington, Paris, and we just started in Cynthiana, Kentucky, and all the way over to Louisville. So anywhere in that little wedge of Kentucky, we are just about in every single county in that region.
Right. Well, it's a good problem to have that we can't exactly narrow down where all the milk is, because that means you all have expanded that much. So again, I just wanted to commend you all for this. I know the community is proud of you all. I know we've had at least one other person from the community to pull away an accolade from the state fair. So congratulations on this. Again, the gold medal award in this year's Kentucky State Fair to Legacy Dairy for both the white and chocolate milk that they produce. Doug, what's probably the easiest way to get your hands on some Legacy Dairy here locally in Glasgow and Barron County?
We have a page pinned to post on our Facebook. It has a updated list of everywhere that we do carry the milk. Locally, Phillips IGA in Highsville, of course, they're a huge supporter. And then Zach's Express on Lexington Drive, Haywood Express out 31E. There's a M&M Supply out in Lucas area, or out in the Barron River Lake area. So
right.
There's several different places. Temple Hill, Roseville Road. We've got several little places that carry. Just look on our little the post on our Facebook, and it'll guide you any place that you want to try to find it.
Absolutely. Well, again, congratulations, and thank you so much for spending some time with us this morning just to let us know about this accolade. And again, congratulations to you and your family.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And we do want to let you know today that Governor Andy Beshear is going to be joined by several state and local officials in Bowling Green. They're going to be breaking ground on the EV battery plant there in Bowling Green. He'll be joined by House Speaker David Osborne, Senate President Pro Tempore David Givens, Senator Mike Wilson, Representative Michael Meredith, Warren County Judge Executive Mike Buchanan, Bowling Green Mayor Todd Alcott, Brian Sullivan, that's Jeff Deaton, and Brian Melford. Those are all folks from that Envision AESC company. They're going to be breaking ground on this gigafactory, and we understand it'll be supplying next-generation battery technology to power 300,000 electric vehicles annually. It's expected to create 2,000 high-value jobs in the region. That groundbreaking follows the April announcement that they made this year. And while in Bowling Green, Governor Beshear is expected to also announce funding for a new fire station in the Trans Park. It's 7:31, 71 degrees. I'm Brennan Crane. Have a great Tuesday.
Late sleepers everywhere are demanding breakfast until noon on weekends. Well, hit that snooze button because Hardee's is extending breakfast hours until noon. And now you can celebrate it with the new 2 for $5 breakfast deal. Imagine eating your choice of a sausage and egg biscuit, country fried steak, or biscuit and gravy all before midday on the weekends. The late sleepers have spoken. Bite into the new 2 for $5 breakfast deal only at Hardee's. Feed your happy. Tax not included. Available for limited time at participating Hardee's restaurants. Exclusions may apply by time of day. Price of participation may vary.
Southern Kentucky Tire Pros does more than just tires. They maximize the love of being behind the wheel. They offer top brands of tires with road hazard coverage available for 3 years at as little as $15 a tire. Plus, the Hunter Hawkeye Elite Alignment Machine is the most accurate four-wheel alignment in the area and the only rack in town that can fit dualies. Drive with confidence knowing wherever you go, Southern Kentucky Tire Pros will help take you there. Go see Foster and everyone at family-owned and operated Southern Kentucky Tire Pros, 1004 Happy Valley Road, Glasgow.
Have you ever thought about where your food comes from? Meet our local farmers and producers and find out during Bounty of the Barrens Farmers Market. Find Kentucky Proud products like fresh local produce, meat, cheese, flowers, and so much more. Senior vouchers, WIC, EBT, and SNAP are accepted. And find out about the Fresh RX and Double Dollars programs at the market booth. It's a small town Saturday morning, downtown Glasgow, 8 till noon. Bounty of the Barrens Farmers Market, presented by Kentucky Proud, Sustainable Glasgow, and South Central Bank.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of What's Cooking. Well, here on the edge of the Barron-Allen County line, we have a place called Caster's, where they have been servicing fishermen and their fishing needs since early March. And I am joined by the owner of Caster's, Miss Tammy. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you.
Well, of course, you have everything you need for the fishermen in the area because this is a huge part of the Scottsville, Barron County area. You have the Barron River Lake, the Barron River Dam, and you have some amazing fish, but I'm not here to try your bait. The thing that keeps reeling people in is your food. Yes. But first, let's talk about the bait shop. This is brand new. So tell us a little bit about Caster's.
Well, the bait shop area, we have tried to provide the necessities, the basic necessities for the local fishermen. We have the live bait, we have shiners, crawfish, goldfish, minnows, skipjack, a little bit of everything. And we have the fishing supplies that everyone seems to call for, and lots of fishing poles.
Yeah, and you found a need that people needed here in this area, especially because you have a lot of vacationers and fishermen and just people who enjoy the sport.
And campgrounds.
And the campgrounds, of course. So you can't forget about that.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, fishermen like to get started early. And so you've serviced another need, which is filling some hungry bellies. So tell us a little bit about the food in the back. What kind of food do you make?
We have good old home cooking, homemade gravy. You know, early morning, we open at 6, we close at 5, and we have a lot of regulars here early morning, those that want to go to work, and then the fishermen. We have biscuits, gravy, bacon, eggs, sausage, tenderloin, all the good stuff.
Well, as people notice, I am a big fan of down-home Southern country cooking. I've said it many times, I cannot get enough of it. So I'm here just at the right time because it's the start of breakfast.
That's right. We're
the
going
most
to feed you.
important meal of the day, and that's why I'm here, because I want to try some of this amazing breakfast that I keep hearing about. So what are you going to be making for me today?
We're going to fix you a breakfast platter, which is
the whole platter.
The whole platter. It's a half order of biscuits and gravy, eggs, however you like them, whichever type meat you want, which includes tenderloin, sausage, bacon, chicken, and then we have, of course, hash browns, potato bites. We're going to fill you up this morning.
That's what I need. I need to be filled up before I leave. So what do you say we step back in here? I want to see how this platter is made.
All right, we'll do it.
We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
The Sustainable Glasgow, Kentucky Proud Bounty of the Barons Farmers Market has begun and it is every Saturday from 8 a.m. till noon on the courthouse lawn in downtown Glasgow. Expect to find an array of fresh vegetables, meats, breads, baked goods, plants, and crafts, all from farmers and local producers. So join your friends and neighbors Saturday mornings, and thank you to our community partners South Central Bank, TJ Sampson Community Hospital, Kentucky Proud and Sustainable Glasgow, local foods, local folks, local music.
We are in the kitchen at Caster's, and I'm joined with Chef Misty.
Hi.
It's going to be preparing our platter today. She's going to be putting the tenderloin on the griddle. It has to cook for a little over a minute on each side. They're really good. It's just a little salt and pepper is all we use. A little over a minute on each side with the weight on it. After a minute and 10 seconds, we flip the tenderloin. Looking good already. While the tenderloin's cooking, she's going to be preparing your egg, and I think you requested fried over hard. And there are 2 eggs that come with the platter. And we have, Shannon has prepared the biscuits and gravy, and she's got your hash brown ready. Now we're ready to put the tenderloin on. Eggs are ready. Platter's complete. And then we have tomatoes too to go, if you like tomatoes. This is our breakfast platter. Come on down and see us where we have dinners and minners.
Now this is an enormous breakfast platter to fill any stomach, including mine. And it takes a lot to fill me up, but this looks wonderful. So, if you do me the honors, I'm gonna take a bite of this wonderful grilled pork tenderloin. Salt and pepper, that's all you have.
Salt and pepper.
A little S&P, good enough for me. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness.
Homemade gravy.
Man, that sawmill, oh my goodness. I love this. And you know, you can taste the local flavor in this tenderloin. I know you probably have to get these local.
It's Uncle Charlie's.
Uncle Charlie's. Well, thank you, Mr. Uncle Charlie. You make an excellent tenderloin. Like I said, all it is salt and pepper. It doesn't take away the flavor of the tenderloin, but the best part is, it is very tender. I'm not sitting there having to struggle to chew on this thing. It is tender. You could almost cut it with a butter knife, cut it with a spoon. That's how good it is. So everybody, come on down here to Casters, where you can get dinners and minners, get your fishing supplies, and stop in for a wonderful bite to eat. Thank you so much for having me here. This has been an absolute treat. Until next week, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jordan Smith for What's Cooking.
I just love that. I love the logo there, the dinners and the minners. You just can't beat that. And I like that creativity as well. So we appreciate the folks at Casters, appreciate the folks at the Bounty of the Barons and Sustainable Glasgow for their wonderful, wonderful contribution to the community each and every Saturday morning. It just gets bigger. It just gets better. Looking forward to it coming up this Saturday. And, of course, if you didn't hear Brennan's story with Doug Jones this hour, he'll have it next hour. Of course, Legacy Dairy, one of the regulars every Saturday morning down at the Bounty of the Barons, the farmers market, won gold medals at the State Fair yesterday for their white milk and for their chocolate milk. And Brendan's going to talk with Doug Jones about that again on the 8 o'clock morning edition. You want to be sure and get down there this Saturday and congratulate one of the regulars of the farmers market, Legacy Dairy. That's a deal. Well, summer's over, but that joint pain is still there. Time to do something. It's Henry Royce, and I want you to call QC Kinetics right now. You've put it off long enough. It's time to get real lasting relief from chronic pain in your knees and back and shoulder and hips. QC Kinetics can get you moving again with cutting-edge regenerative treatments with no drugs, no downtime, and no surgery. Regenerative medicine uses highly concentrated healing properties from your own body to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. And QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in this exciting breakthrough natural approach to eliminating joint pain. Lots of people here have done this, and they are living life to the fullest, pain-free. Don't assume the old ways of dealing with joint pain are the only ways. Call QC Kinetics today. Stop putting it off. Call now for a free consultation. 270-974-4500. QC Kinetics, 270-974-4500. That's 270-974-4500. You need to know about some more folks having birthdays today. I've been taking them left and right, and let me share them left and right, okay? We just added Billy Bishop to the birthday club today. Billy, your mama called up to wish you a happy birthday today. Glad to have Billy on. Katie Ford. I think Katie teaches over at Caverna Elementary, and that was called in by the folks over at Caverna for Katie Ford. Abby Carver teaches out at North Jackson, and we understand that Abby has a birthday today. That's Abby Carver. Welcome to the teens. Caleb Young, he is 13 today. Angela Martin, Mark Dixon, Jacqueline Westmoreland has a birthday, and Anna and Chloe called that in. Number 61 for Mr. Jimmy Russell on today. We got some ending in 0 birthdays here. We've sounded the gong for these youngsters. Kathy Lowe is 70 today. Mr. Larry T. Glass is 80 today. Miss Marie Ward is 80 today as well. Also a big birthday for Samantha Ray Pettigo, Bob Harvey. Tammy Thomas is 54 today. How about Collins DeRosset? Collins is growing up. He's 3 today. Eva Rennick, Tammy Clark, Vicki Lyle, Susan Simmons, Gil Pointer, Dr. Barrett Lessenberry with a birthday. Miss Katie Wells celebrates a birthday today, too. In fact, by special request, Katie was requested to be good as gold, and we are going to be complying with that request because it is Katie Wells Day here on the radio. If you happen to see Katie Wells around today, please pat her on the back and remind her that she is as good as gold. From WCLU and a little taste of Texas. We would appreciate that indeed. 71 degrees, 743.
Weather brought to you by Peggy Tuck Edwards and Private Caregiver Referral Services. When roles reverse in later years, when child becomes caretaker, when the needs of a parent become most important, it's comforting to know there is help along the way. Sometimes our elders just need a little company and companionship, and it's our duty to see that those needs are met, whether at home, assisted living, or a nursing home facility. Peggy and her network of compassionate caregivers are ready to meet you and your loved one's needs. call 670-7062.
In the WCLU Forecast Center, let me give you some numbers from overnight. We've actually had 3/10 of an inch of rain in our rain bucket. Now, that I guess what I'm getting at is that our rain bucket must not be underneath where I was driving yesterday, because I certainly was in the middle of that gully washer, and I bet a lot of you were too. But the overall official total for Glasgow is 3/10. The forecast today, showers and thunderstorms this morning, but gradually becoming sunny and a high of 85. The rain chance is going to be 60%. Tonight, mostly clear, low of 61. Wednesday, sunny and 83. Wednesday night, clear, low of 58. Thursday, sunny and a high of 85 degrees. The radar screen this morning is showing the big gully washer that came early this morning is way southeast of Lexington now. It's been moving pretty quick, and we're not seeing anything yet that's going to knock on the door. But you know how they popped up yesterday? Well, they have that same potential to pop up. But as you heard, this is popping well worth tolerating. We're going to get to 61 for a low tonight and 58 for a low tomorrow night. We're going to look forward to just a wee bit of a change. 744, 71 degrees. Weather brought to you by your friends at Peggy Tuck Edwards Private Caregiver Referral Services.
Good morning, friends. Sin. It creeps into our lives like a slithering serpent from whom it comes. Oh, how we need to be forgiven. How we want to be forgiven. God is good and wants to have a relationship with all of his creatures. However, our sins and iniquities stand between us and our Creator. Knowing this to be the real problem of all mankind, God sent his Son Jesus as the offering for the sins of this world. We now have two choices: to accept the free gift of forgiveness from our sins, or accept the penalty of condemnation, what we deserve. Thank God for the grace that he offers to each of us through Jesus Christ. There's no other way to God except through Christ, and we have to follow his way and accept his truth in order to receive his gift of eternal life with the Father. There's one thing that must be remembered, however, and that is that we will not receive any more forgiveness than we are willing to extend to those who have wronged us. We must understand that we don't forgive others for God's sake. We don't forgive another for the sake of the one who has wronged us. We forgive others for our sake, for without forgiving them, we cannot see God. This is Danny White of the Refuge Church of Christ.
Everyone has the right to control their own future.
This is not the case if you've been seriously injured in a car wreck or a big truck wreck. The insurance company will take advantage of you.
We've recovered over $1 billion for our clients.
We're passionate about getting big dollar results for our clients.
Control starts with a call. Hughes & Coleman, 800-800-4600.
Principal office in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Services may be performed by others. Over $1 billion recovered for our clients in Kentucky and Tennessee.
Bed sores, broken bones, dehydration, and malnutrition. If you suspect that your loved one has been abused in a nursing home, call Hughes & Coleman today.
Control starts with a call. 800-800-4600.
Principal office in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Services may be performed by others.
J. Marshall Hughes here with Hughes & Coleman Injury Lawyers. School's back in session. Buses are on the road, and children are walking to school. Please slow down and drive carefully. Keep our kids safe.
Principal office in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Whether you have a little boo-boo or a great big boo-boo, when it comes to your car, who fixes those problems really matters. Shaw's Body Shop in Glasgow is a well-established, reputable company capable of taking care of any size damage to your car. In fact, many major insurance carriers have Shaw's on their preferred repair shop list. What does that tell you? It tells you whether you have a little bang or a big bang. Get it fixed right with Shaw's Body Shop on West Main, 651-5172.
The just because deal.
Hey, oh, what's this?
Breakfast from Mickey D's.
From me?
Yep.
Why?
'Cause it's morning and you like McDonald's. Let's eat while it's hot.
There's a deal for every act of kindness at McDonald's.
Right now, get a sausage biscuit and hash browns pairing for just $2.50. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. That's true when your business is growing fast, and even more true when there's a lot of uncertainty. Inflation is running rampant, supply chains are clogged, and the labor market is tight. What does that mean for margins? But not every business is in the dark. Over 31,000 businesses know their numbers because they use NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of financials, planning, budgeting, and of course, inventory, so you can manage risk, get reliable forecasts, and improve margins. Everything you need, all in one place. In 2022, profit is the new growth. So NetSuite helps you identify rising costs, automate your manual business processes, and see where to save money. Know your numbers, know your business, and get to know how NetSuite can be the source of truth for your entire company. NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind flexible financing program. Head to netsuite.com/advantage. netsuite.com/advantage.
Summer's over, but that joint pain is still there. Time to do something. Hey, it's James Coates. I want you to call QC Kinetics now. You've been putting it off long enough. It's time to get real lasting relief from chronic pain in your knees and back and shoulders and hips. QC Kinetics can get you moving again with cutting-edge regenerative treatments with no drugs, no downtime, and no surgery. Regenerative medicine uses high-quality, concentrated healing properties from your own body to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. And QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in this exciting breakthrough natural approach to eliminating joint pain. Lots of people here have done this, and they are living life to the fullest, pain-free. Don't assume the old ways of dealing with joint pain are the only ways. Call QC Kinetics today. Stop putting it off. Call for a free consultation, 270-974-4500. QC Kinetics, 270-974-4500. That's 270-974-4500.
Ugh, why is this thing so slow?
Is your slow computer frustrating, but you don't want to pay the money for a new one? Well, check this out.
Hi, I'm Chris from Apollo PC. Nothing runs better than a new computer. Our refurbished models are practically good as new. Right now, get a complete computer system with monitor, keyboard, mouse, and speakers running Windows 7 for only $300. Or if you prefer a laptop, we have fully refurbished models for only $250. And we wouldn't put the Apollo name on it if they weren't top notch.
Search faster with Apollo PC. Chain Drive in Glasgow next to Sweetheart Bakery.
From the north, south, east, west, NEWS, here's the latest news. Woo-hoo!
From around the world up the street is Tidbit News. We've got a few things to share. It's 10 minutes before top of the hour, 8 o'clock, James.
Hey!
Tomorrow you're going to be given that Opry clue during this time slot, right?
Yes, sir. Opry clue number 1 tomorrow morning.
I don't want people to miss that for sure.
Give somebody a chance to win on Friday.
And actually, Brennan was going to join us, but the phone rang, and Brennan just does not let the phone ring out. He
Mr. Operator.
Well, he's just, he is certainly, we appreciate anybody that calls us, and so I'm glad Brennan jumped in there and answered the phone.
I'm here now.
Okay, do we need to add a birthday or anything?
No, that was just a call about putting something, I believe, on the radio. So
okay, all right.
That might be a call for James in a few
That's right.
minutes.
We put stuff on the radio every day. In Tidbit News today, we've been, I've found a new source to find news out of France. Remember we had the pilots from France earlier this week?
Mm-hmm.
And now I've got the French authorities, French tax authorities said yesterday there's a new artificial intelligence system that's found thousands of undeclared swimming pools, allowing it to collect millions of euros from homeowners who fail to report their swimming pools.
You have to report a swimming pool?
Yeah. Your taxes go up if you have one, in France at least. This was developed by Google and Capgemini. The AI software learns how to spot pools on aerial images of 9 French departments during a trial run last year, which were then cross-checked with land registry databases. Now listen to this. This is amazing. Since the pools boost property value, they usually lead to higher property and residency taxes unless the owner neglects to notify tax authorities. Who would do that?
Then what happens?
Private pool sales already have been booming in France before the COVID pandemic, which saw a surge in installations as millions of employees began working from home more often. Well, according to the Parisian newspaper, which reports the results of the AI test, an average pool of 30 square meters, or 320 square feet, will be taxed an additional $200 a year.
Wow.
Not bad. In the 9 test departments, the software detected, are you ready for this, more than 20,000 pools that they didn't know they had.
I mean, what if you don't pay it?
Well,
what will happen? They put a caution strip around it?
A load of rock.
They fill it up?
That's right.
Wow.
Actually, when they discovered those 20,000 pools using this artificial intelligence, they collected 10 million euros in tax revenue just last year. So there's a message there for you. If you got a pool, report it.
High price to pay for a little fun.
Public Finance Authority said the program would now be rolled out nationwide, potentially leading to 40 million euros and new levies in 2023. I don't know how they can do that every year because, I mean, people don't rebuild pools every year.
Right.
And you're probably going to run out at some point.
I have mixed feelings about it. I mean, I don't understand, which this is France, so this is going to be different than what we hold true here, but you know, I get it. It adds value to the property in which you own, but at the same time, why are we taxing people for an amenity that they want?
Seems like it would just go into the original assessment rather than throwing up some extra because of
exactly.
the pool. Anyway, I don't know.
It's
how
like paying taxes on a car. You know, if you pay taxes on a car, if I buy your car, I got to pay taxes on the car.
If you put like a lift kit on it, should they raise the jack price?
Lift the car, lift the price.
That's right. That's what they're doing by adding a pool in France, it sounds like.
You ever had a lift kit on any vehicle you owned?
I have not. I was glad to have a vehicle. I didn't, some people, some friends of mine I grew up with had lift kits and, all that stuff.
Hard to put a lift kit on a Ford Fescue.
That's right. That's right. You're exactly right about that. Or I had a Mercury Montego. That only lifted up if I slammed on the brake.
Sometimes I think I need a lift kit on my car just to bring it up to normal parameters.
That's right.
Yeah, so you can get in it.
That's right. It needs to be lifted after I get in it.
You all have both ridden in my car, and you know that it's low to the ground.
Yeah. I've actually scraped your door on the sidewalk.
Henry opens the door one day.
I can't get in and out of it without Vaseline.
I said, hit that lift kit, Brennan. The right side lift kit.
Yeah.
All right.
Boy.
This story out of Canada this morning, this is intriguing for a couple of reasons. This is a girl up in Canada named Andrea Lieger Comeyer.
Okay.
She discovered that she had lost her fingerprints in April when she tried to get a criminal record check to volunteer down at her grandchildren's school. After 4 months of calling politicians and talking to the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, she finally got a letter certifying she's never been convicted of a crime. Quote, "I'm clear, but I still don't have any fingerprints," she told a newspaper there in Canada. She's in her 60s. She retired. She'd not gotten a background check in a while, so she doesn't know exactly when her fingers lost their identifiable patterns. What made her case more complicated is that she shared a name with someone with a criminal record.
Ooh.
And said she just couldn't give that up. I was thinking, okay, I can't really accept that. There's somebody somewhere that can help me. And she finally got it. She's 68 years old. And now, after going through all this, she can now go help volunteer at her grandchild's school, but she also has a referral to a dermatologist to figure out what happened to her fingerprints.
Can't they toe stamp you?
I don't know. Well, I mean, I guess they could, but her family doctor said fingerprints can fade for people who have eczema.
Yeah.
All right?
Wow.
So anyway, that's the thing. She couldn't prove she wasn't a criminal because she didn't have the fingerprints to prove it. So now they finally proved it, and so now she's back trying to get the fingerprints back.
Good for her.
In Canada. And let's see, finally this story, I don't know, this one just, I have that weird sense of humor and sometimes I can't hide it.
Most every day.
Out of California, Inglewood, California police found more than 120 forklifts and other pieces of heavy machinery and construction company equipment that they say are stolen. According to Inglewood Police, detectives conducted a search warrant Wednesday in the city of Commerce to track down 2 stolen forklifts. What they found was more than 120 stolen forklifts.
How do you steal 120 forklifts?
That's a lot.
Other pieces of heavy-duty industrial machinery. The items were being housed for resale, police said. It's believed that all the equipment was stolen because the warehouse employees there were stripping ID numbers and repainting the equipment. This is according to a statement there. Similar thefts can include any items used for construction, including lighting equipment. They say that with so much construction going on that this equipment it's a hot item to be stolen. I don't know, you just don't think about that many forklifts being available to steal in
True.
a small area. Not that Inglewood, California is a small area, but
usually people steal, well, smaller items. I mean, can you try to imagine yourself trying to steal a forklift?
Yeah, without being noticed.
Exactly.
What do you?
120 of them.
Do you pick it up?
Do you know what one of those things weigh?
There's no telling.
Well, we're just talking about picking it up with another forklift.
That's probably right. Sorry. Hey, get the inventory forklift going over there.
I've been on many of them, and I tell you, they're not easy to maneuver.
Well, I would appreciate seeing James on a forklift.
Oh, I've done it.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Can you drive it forwards and backwards?
Yes, fully loaded with 4 pallets.
Okay.
Only
pallets
4?
of what?
I didn't say how good I could do it, but I can do it.
Pallets of what?
Whatever.
Hey.
Whatever's on the skid.
Do you have fingerprints? We might check you out for forklift
You
thievery.
can toe print me, okay?
Okay, all right. All right.
I'm not getting near those feet.
That's what we have in the way of tidbit news today. I told you it was like there was an odd run on tidbit news, but every news agency in the country has been running the whipped cream story, and
I'd say
we broke it here first.
Sweet. Mm-hmm.
Let's not get into that again.
That's right. No, we're not going to do that. Okay, coming up, it's The Trader next on Willie 94.1 in the 8 o'clock morning edition on WCLU. Glad you're here.
This is your home for Glasgow's best variety. WCLU Glasgow. W276DO Glasgow. WCLU.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.